Have you ever seen a team, or maybe just one person, walk into a really high-stakes situation? Big presentation, a tough negotiation, and they just have this absolute, self-contained clarity, this
Yeah.
unified purpose, and you can almost feel their opponent sort of deflate. Their own morale just dips. That psychological edge, that ability to crush doubt before anything really happens, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Yeah, we're picking up right where we left off. We talked about the Pandava Army's huge declaration, that incredibly powerful, organized sound, the symphony of unity.
Well,
So now we're shifting focus from the cause, which was their unity, to the decisive effect it had on the other side.
and this isn't just some old story, is it? It feels like a blueprint for understanding how certainty works in any high-pressure situation.
Absolutely. Every strong action, every powerful declaration causes a reaction, often a profound one.
And our mission today really is to figure out how that reaction plays out, how you can win that internal war against your own doubt, maybe procrastination, or even external opposition, before the physical battle even kicks off.
It's this idea of psychological victory, drawn straight from the Bhagavad Gita, specifically verse 1.19.
Analyzing that moment when an external show of strength completely changes the internal landscape of the opponent.
Making them almost defeat themselves because their confidence just shatters.
Okay, let's unpack this moment in the story. So Sanjay is describing all this to the blind king Dhritarashtra, and the scene is just electric, right? The air is ringing with this unified, purposeful roar from the Pandava side.
It's not just random noise. It's described as a manifestation of their alignment, their shared purpose.
And Sanjaya zeroes in on the impact of that sound. He tells the king exactly what it's doing to the king's own sons, the Kachva.
Right. The description is incredibly precise, psychologically speaking. The shloka itself says something like, that tumultuous sound reverberating through heaven and earth rent the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra.
Rent the hearts. That phrase just leaps out. We really need to sit with that. What's so striking is the timing. I mean, no arrow has flown, right? No sword's been drawn.
Exactly. The physical fight hasn't begun.
So this effect is entirely non-physical. It's pure psychological warfare, a psychological victory achieved through sound.
And the Sanskrit phrase, Hridayi Vyadarayat, it literally means their hearts were pierced or torn apart, crushed even.
But why? I mean, the Kauravas had the bigger army, didn't they? More famous warriors, all the material advantages.
Yeah.
Logically, they should feel pretty secure.
That's the crucial question. It wasn't about numbers or fame at that moment.
So wait, if the Pandavas' big strength was their unity and, fighting for the right cause, why would that specifically shake the Kauravas' morale? Was it just feeling overwhelmed by the sheer noise?
I don't think it was about being outnumbered by the sound itself. It seems it struck the one place they were fundamentally weak, their conscience.
Yeah.
Our sources really emphasize this point. The Kauravas knew, deep down, their cause wasn't just.
So that righteous, confident sound from the Pandavas basically acted like a spotlight on the inherent weakness, the rot in their own position.
Exactly. Their confidence was brittle because it wasn't built on solid ground. The Pandava sound exposed that fragility.
That is such a powerful analogy for self-sabotage, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If your whole motivation for something, a career change, a health goal, whatever, is built on shaky foundations, maybe something isn't quite right or something you're not fully committed to,
Yeah.
then just hearing someone else express their clear, aligned purpose can be enough to make your own internal structure just crumble.
Precisely. It's like when you're defending a position you know is false, the truth, spoken with clarity and conviction, hits differently. It's disruptive.
It's like a sonic boom against your own shaky justification.
That's a great way to put it. The external strength of the Pandavas' declaration could only shatter the Kaurava morale because that morale was rooted in justification, not really in deep truth or conviction.
Okay, so if injustice, or maybe self-deception, is the crack in the Kaurava's foundation, let's flip this. How does this apply when we're battling our own internal Kaurava army? Doubts and fears built on maybe self-criticism or just putting things off?
Absolutely. We all have those internal enemies, don't we? Our own doubts, our fears, insecurities, that constant nagging negative self-talk that just stops us in our tracks.
Totally. Those voices are like the Kaurava army setting up camp right inside our heads,
Yeah.
bombarding us with things like, am I really good enough for that promotion? Or what if I start this new project and just fail spectacularly? Or even, I'll never have the discipline to stick with this health plan. That internal chatter can be paralyzing.
So the key question for us for applying this today is, what's the internal equivalent of that Pandava sound? What's the unified inner declaration that can tear apart the heart of that kind of self-doubt?
It's more than just positive thinking, right?
Oh, definitely. It's the sound of your own genuine conviction. It's the signal that comes from real clarity, from knowing your purpose, your deep personal why.
Okay, but conviction can feel a bit abstract sometimes, like something you hope for.
Hmm.
What's the real practical difference between that powerful conviction and just, wishful thinking, especially if you haven't taken action yet?
Great question. I think the difference lies in preparation and truth. Wishful thinking floats on fantasy. Conviction is anchored. It's anchored in the reality of your preparation and the undeniable truth of your commitment.
So the internal roar isn't just noise, it's the mind's unshakable decision.
Exactly. And the moment you generate that kind of absolute unified internal declaration when all parts of you are on board, the noise from those internal enemies, the doubts and fears, it starts to fade immediately.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting and practical. Let's test that.
All right.
Say you have a serious health goal. When you truly commit 100%, really commit, not just saying you want it, but internalizing the reason why it's important, and you map out the actual plan. Does that inner voice tempting you with the junk food just lose its power? Is that like delivering that Hudayani Vyadaryat, that heart-renting blow to the voice of temptation?
That's exactly it. You've won that specific micro battle internally before the external challenge, like the actual junk food being there, even shows up.
Because the strength of your inner resolve is now greater than the pull of the temptation.
Right. Or take your example of a big presentation. If you prepare like crazy, you know your subject cold, you rehearse until it's second nature. You feel unified, clear.
Yeah,
Doesn't that natural fear of public speaking start to shrink dramatically?
definitely. You've basically shattered the fear's confidence because you took away its main fuel, which is the feeling of being unprepared or uncertain.
So preparation isn't just about being competent, it's a psychological shield. When you achieve that unified inner resolve, the voices of doubt just get quieter. They don't have a leg to stand on against a truly committed mind.
That makes sense.
And that clarity actually brings us nicely to the second part of that amazing description from the verse. The sound reverberating through heaven and earth.
Right, that part.
This points to something even bigger than just internal resolve. It suggests a kind of total, almost cosmic alignment.
Wow. Okay, that sounds incredibly powerful, but how do we bring that down to earth? How do we translate that huge image into our own lives? What do heaven and earth represent inside us, and how do we get that perfect reverberation happening?
Well, the way it's often interpreted is that this reverberation happens when your inner resolve aligns perfectly with your outer actions.
Okay.
So heaven could represent your clear mind, your highest vision, your intention, the why behind your goal.
Your asp.
Yes. And earth represents your grounded actions, your discipline, your practice, your resources, the actual steps you take, your preparation.
So when the mind is crystal clear on the goal that's heaven, and the actions you're taking are solid, disciplined, grounded, that's earth, then the combined energy is just unstoppable.
That's the idea. That alignment creates such a powerful, unified presence.
Because there's no gap between what you intend and what you're actually doing.
Exactly. And that leaves no room, no foothold for that internal army of doubt to start causing trouble.
Okay.
And remember, the source text highlights that this effect came from a collective sound in elders, peers, youth, all united. That's a crucial insight for us internally, too. You need a unified message coming from all parts of yourself.
Right. So achieving that psychological win means we kind of need to map out our own internal army and make sure every part is playing the same tune, singing from the same song sheet of conviction.
Precisely. We can think of needing 3 core internal components working together, mirroring that Pandava support system to create that unstoppable conviction.
Okay, what are they?
First, you need your mind, representing clarity, like Krishna guiding the chariot. This is about having absolute, unambiguous clarity on your main goal and, crucially, your why. You need to know exactly where you're steering things.
Makes sense. Clarity first. What's second?
Second, your skills, representing readiness, like Arjuna the archer. This is your preparation, your training, your competence, your readiness to actually do the thing. This tackles the anxiety that comes from feeling inadequate.
Got it. Mind clarity, skill readiness. What's the third?
Third is your support system, representing reinforcement, like the unified army. Internally, this isn't just about external friends. It's your own past successes, your established positive habits, the parts of your character that reinforce belief in yourself.
So when doubt creeps in, this part reminds you, hey, you've done hard things before, you've got this.
Exactly. It's your internal cheerleading squad built on evidence.
So bringing those three together, clarity, readiness, and that internal reinforcement, all sounding off at once. That's what creates the powerful resolve that just shatters procrastination and fear on the spot.
Yes. Mind, action readiness, and belief system all in perfect harmony.
When those three align.
The internal battle is essentially won before it even starts, the outer success. That really does become just a matter of time because the biggest obstacle, your own doubt, has already been dissolved from the inside out.
So the real practical wisdom for anyone listening today is, before you tackle any big challenge, a new venture, a life change, even just a daunting task, don't just focus on the external prep, the skills. Prepare your mind first. Actively cultivate that inner roar. Get absolutely crystal clear on your why, remind yourself of your strengths and past wins, and consciously unify your own internal army.
So that when you declare your intention, even just to yourself, your own doubts are the first casualties. And in the story, the Pandavas have done just that. They've declared their strength, and boom! They've shattered their opponent's morale with this incredible display of psychological power. A huge victory without lifting a single weapon.
It's such a powerful moment of collective resolve.
It really is.
But the story takes an immediate turn, doesn't it? Right after this peak moment of conviction.
It does. What's so fascinating and deeply human is that even after this unifying, powerful psychological win, the greatest warrior among them, Arjuna himself, is about to face this profound personal crisis when he actually sees the people he's about to fight. His own relatives, his teachers.
Which leaves us with a really important question, I think.
Yes.
If internal conviction, that alignment we talked about, is truly strong enough to win the battle before it starts, well, how do we maintain that resolve? How do we hold on to it when the external reality hits us, when the real, sometimes painful, human cost of our actions or ambitions becomes fully visible?
That's the cliffhanger, isn't it? That moment where internal resolve meets external reality. And that confrontation, well, that's exactly where our deep dive will take us next time.